Hey everyone, it's Allie, and today I want to make a quick video on a topic I've seen a lot of people have questions about, which is how to most optimally go about farming bosses. Now, in season 2, they actually did add quite a lot of really nice things specifically for this, so let's go over everything and hopefully make whatever sort of boss farm you want to do a little bit easier to do so. Now, when it comes to the major pinnacle bosses, such as Julia in Temporal Sanctum or Abberoth, there basically is nothing you can do other than simply kill the boss faster. With Circle of Fortune, at rank 10, we do get 150% increased drop rates, which works for anything that's considered a boss. This works for timeline bosses, for Abberoth, for dungeon bosses, for everything. And that kind of helps. And unfortunately for Merchant's Guild, you kind of just have to deal with a low drop rate. Now, when it comes to farming the timeline bosses themselves, you actually really care about the corruption you do it at, as that will pretty greatly impact the chance of you seeing the loot in the first place. If you come over to Tunk Labs and go over to Monolith Scaling, which I'll link in the description below, not only can we see the scaling of corruption itself, but we also look at the scaling of drop tables off of any boss I would care about. For example, I think an item that a lot of people care about is getting a Twisted Heart. And as you can see, at somewhere around 180 corruption, you only have an 18% chance to see a Twisted Hearts, but if you were to push all the way up to 1000 corruption, it's now a 44% chance. Now, as you can see, this does flatline really hard. So realistically, what we have to think about here is the correlation between drop rates and difficulty. At 1000% corruption, every enemy is basically 10 times as hard, but you do get yourself a 44% drop rate. Is it better for you to do that? Or is it better for you to go down to 500 corruption, where things are straight up half as easy as they are 1000 corruption, only 5 times the multiplier instead of 10 times, and you only lose 8% of the drop rates, but if you do it twice as fast, then that 8% won't really matter. Again, this is up to you to consider the exact corruption you want to go for, but generally the higher the better, up until a plateau. Once you do figure that out, honestly, the single best thing you can do to be able to push through and get as many bosses possible is pretty simple. For the Woven, all you're going to want to do is go and grab yourself Anchored Reality, which gives you extra timeline stability when killing enemies or echoes. This isn't that impactful, but it does really help. But most importantly here, we're going to need to get ourselves Purged Horizon. This makes it so every time you kill Orobyss, you don't gain any corruption. And what we could do is we could abuse the new Pity Orobyss that was added in Season 2 to basically mass farm a lot of Orobysses, which is one of the best ways to gain stability. As you can see here, I have an Orobyss that spawned directly at the start of my Fall of the Empire timeline. The reason this happened is because I either had 8 Gaze of Orobyss stacked up, or because my Fall of the Empire was at least 100 less corruption than whatever my current highest timeline is. With this, and with us having Purged Horizon, I'm always going to get an Orobyss to spawn immediately after doing any of the starting echoes right next to the beginning. As you can see, this Orobyss gives me 136 timeline stability, but because we have Purged Horizon, it's not going to do anything other than just reset my echo web, and if I go do one more node, I'll immediately get another Orobyss to go do. If we go look at the other nodes, for example, this one's 42 stability with up to 86 timeline if you kill everything, which is going to take a lot longer than just simply killing an Orobyss. That gives you basically the amount of stability you'd gain from doing a full echo plus maybe killing half of the monsters for the bonus stability. So with this, you can churn out stability very quickly and, well, basically fight whatever boss you need to a lot faster. Now, what you can do on top of this to make this even better is to take some sort of item with fortune potential on it. Doesn't matter if it's exalted, doesn't matter the stats on it, just any item fortune potential, and then upgrade any of the stats on it using a Glyph of Envy. This is something you're going to have a very large amount of sitting around, and, well, this is what their purpose is. Every time you upgrade something with a Glyph of Stability, as you'll see, you just gain stability for the current timeline that you last did an area in. So if you have hundreds of these lying around like I do, you can simply just go through all of them and get yourself a lot of boss fights really quickly, which might hopefully give you whatever you need to, so you don't have to farm the bosses a little bit slower. With this, I can literally just pump up my stability to full, go fight the boss twice, and then simply just come back here, pump up my stability again, and then just keep repeating this until I completely run out. Now, if any of that is not appealing to you, or if you have some sort of other needs as well, let's say you actually want to complete monolith objectives and do them, what I'd recommend for you to do is to go over to your Weaver tree and pick up Woven Riches and Loom Riches, and then simply put in the Echo Collapsing Horizon. This Echo will allow you to fight a Harbinger, which counts as if they killed the boss of that timeline, meaning it's basically just a free timeline boss. With 2 of these in, I'll start seeing them as I progress my Echo Web, meaning I'll get more Harbingers, meaning I'll get more free boss fights to do. Keep in mind that these are actually a little bit difficult. These Echoes specifically, the green on gold ones all the way at the right, have a 50% multiplier applied onto them, meaning if I were to go do this at 500 corruption, for example, the Harbinger fight is effectively going to be as difficult as 750 corruption. If you're pushing to 1,500 corruption, and you do this, well, suddenly the Harbingers might be the equivalent of 2,000 corruption, so do keep that in mind, and you might want to lower your corruption a little bit if you do plan to farm these. What you can do to make these a little bit better too, since these specifically drop off of Harbingers, is you can always come up to top and pick up Call the Firstborn, which gives you a 40% chance for them to be duplicated. It helps, it's really nice, and if you're specifically looking for Harbinger loots and not timeline boss loots, well, that's going to give you a lot more Harbingers to kill a lot faster, which is really nice. And you can always just simply bank them up. For example, I have 21 of them. I can go to the cemetery, put all of them down, kill the Harbingers, and potentially even get some back, because I believe the Harbingers in Collapsing Horizon can drop you more Collapsing Horizons, which just makes farming more Harpies even faster. That's really all there is to it. You just simply use all of your Glyphs of Envy to quickly spam out a bunch of bosses, and then you just simply do the Orobyss reset method over and over again until you have whatever you need to. I personally have farmed a lot of timeline bosses this way, and I want to say I can probably do about 15 or so of these an hour, which is insane in comparison to what was available before. And I think for most people, that's going to honestly serve whatever purpose they need when it comes to generating the loot that they want. If you have any questions on any of this, feel free to leave a comment in the comments below, and I'd be more than happy to help you as soon as I can. I also stream on Twitch every single day, so feel free to come by Twitch and ask me if you have questions there, or if you simply want to come and hang out with other kitties and be a part of our community, I'd be more than happy to see you there as well. We also have a Discord with a lot of kitties in it, so feel free to come by there too. With all that said, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next video.